All right, we're live. Sorry, y'all, about the delay there. Huge delay. Um, just getting things together. Just getting things together. So glad that you guys could join us today. And welcome to our live. And I'm looking at my computer, and I got to train my eye right now. The camera is in front of me this way. Anyway, so good to have you guys here. Let me adjust. All right, there you go. Hold on, let me turn this. There we go. There we go. I think you guys can hear me, right? Hold on. All right, there you go. Yeah, I think you can hear me a little bit better now. All right, so good to have you guys here, and welcome to another broadcast, a live broadcast. A beautiful day out here in Arizona. It didn't get as hot as the other days. I mean, I'm looking outside right now. It's a bit overcast, but it was nice. It was nice. And let me turn this thing. Hold on, y'all. There we go. There we go. I didn't want to. Because I always get that one person, can you turn it down? It's a little bit too, I can understand. So I turned it down a little bit more for you so you can hear me. So anyway, yeah, so it was a good day today. And I told my family earlier this week, I said, I want today to be Jamaica Day in the house. I wanted to make some good food. I hadn't cooked in a while, and so I went ahead and did that. So I'm gonna show you some video of what I made on the grill. Not much, jerk chicken and peas and rice and scallop potatoes, and I don't know what's the let's see, cabbage. What else? I was gonna make some other stuff here. Lemons grow a lot. There's a lot of lemons you can get out here, and you can almost get them free. I mean, they don't grow wild, but a lot of people grow them. I didn't realize that it was so many citrus trees that grew out here. But I was gonna get a bunch of lemons yesterday and make some big thing of lemonade, but I didn't have time to do that. But anyway, so today it's gonna be a very interesting day, and I want to make sure that everybody's as many people as possible are in the house today, because we're going to have a very special guest, and we're going to talk about this thing about Nicole, what's the type of that? What's that care? Integrative care. Integrative medical care. We're going to talk about that, and we have a wonderful example of that, and why it's something that perhaps you probably need to check in and or check it out, I should say. And we have a wonderful testimony. It's not something we provide, okay? Let me just be clear with that. We don't have the Samba Tree Integrative Medical Care. Nah, we're not even close to that. But there are resources out there that people should know about and should check out for yourself. And like I said, again, we're going to have a wonderful testimony come up here in a little bit and talk about that, okay? I'm trying to think of what else we had going on that I want to chat about before we start getting into some things here. Let's see. Going on the computer here. Let's see. Where do I begin? Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and go with the post that I did. Okay, hold on. Let me turn this off. Okay, hold on. There we go. All right, I think that's better there. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so today I did a post earlier today, and the reason why I did this post, I'm gonna say I was mad. And it wasn't any of y'all, nobody on YouTube made me mad. Okay, it wasn't that at all. I was mad at the evil that is unfolding right before my eyes. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to pull this post up here so you can see what I'm talking about. And when I tell you, I was mad. I know you're like, well, what are you mad at? I'm trying to get to it, okay? Anyway, let me pull this up on the screen here, and then we can go ahead and get into this. All right, let's go ahead. There you go. There you go. There you go. There right here. Nicole be joining us soon here. By the way, we just taking care of a few things here. All right. Let me go here. The community page. Here we go. Right here. I'll just show you. You know, you see this on the screen. Many of y'all probably saw this. If you looked at our community page, you saw this. New York Times. Thousands believe COVID vaccines harm them. Is anyone listening? I saw that and I became, yeah, I was mad. And then it was not just that, you know, then we had Chris Cuomo. He was used to be a commentator, a talking head for CNN until they ran him up out of there for some other stuff. And, you know, there are many clips of him when he was with CNN and how he was basically going after people for not getting the you know what. And now here he comes and on his own show, because he's not on CNN anymore. Right now he's on his own platform, and which means he can have his own guest and do all whatever it is that he wants to do. And recently he had a medical person on there, and the medical person, they were talking about the you know what, the jab, and he acknowledged that he is actually suffering from side effects of this thing. And when I heard about it, I was like, you got to be joking me. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not surprised about that, but I said, you know, here's the same person that was, I mean, literally an atomic junkyard dog going after people for not doing it. And yet here he comes around and like, yeah, I'm one of the victims, you know. And so I thought that was something. Here's another one, unable to work since the jab. I'm still not saying it, y'all. They ain't gonna catch me. They ain't gonna catch me slipping, okay? My neck is still on the swivel on this plantation, okay? So if you can read it, you know what I'm trying to say, okay? So it says, unable to work since the jab, this man pins hopes on compensation. So that's a whole nother article. And here's another one. This is in the Daily Mail. It says the 13,000 Americans injured by the you know what, and then it goes on. There are many other articles that I can point to. So it's between that. I also have an account on what's the name of the platform? Wow, I'm getting ready to call it transgression. Y'all know, pray for me today, y'all. I'm tired. That's what it is. I'm sleeping. It's called Telegram. It ain't. I said it's called transgression. It better not be on my phone. Okay? That better not. You know, you sleeping, you ain't have to eat yet. I got this chicken over here. I'm like, I'm trying to get through it. But anyway, yeah, Telegram. I am subscribed to a number of, I don't know what you want to call them, streams, channels, what have you, of people who have been tracking those that are dying suddenly. And I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating to y'all. My phone has been almost nonstop notifying me of here's another person, here's another person, here's another person. It's like nonstop. I had to turn the notification off because there's just so many of them. And these are different people. I mean, all across the board. And there was a interview. There was a doctor. I don't know who it was, but they said within 3 to 5 years, it's going to be increasing. And I could tell you right now, it's definitely increasing. There was one story that I read to Nicole, I think it was yesterday, and she was in this story, this individual, one of the side effects, because people are talking about these different side effects or direct effects, it's all over the map, y'all. It's all over the map. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you this is what we've been telling you. This is what's going to happen, along with other people. One person got gangrene on their spine. How does that even happen? And like the person that was talking about it saying, like they were saying, it's not like if you get gangrene on your skin or your thumb, you can, or your fingers or or your toes or whatever, they just amputate that. But if you get gangrene on your spine, you can't amputate your spine. So they ended up having to just try to get as much as they can around the spine, but it is what it is. It's literally all over these different, I have tons of reports that are of individuals and their different things that they're dealing with right now. Tons. We've been, the stuff that we've been talking about, on this platform, we haven't, purposely, we can't really, when you start getting into the medical stuff, you can't really touch that too much. We tend to save that for BondTube. But here on this plantation, we can't really talk about it. But it doesn't mean it's not happening, and it's happening a great deal. And so that, it made me angry because you have people who are out here, that's what they do. This is what they're about. There's a video, I'm gonna see if I can try to play it for y'all, okay? And like I said, again, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we're just kind of chatting a little bit, and then we're gonna get into, we're gonna have a special phone call come in and have a dear woman, she's gonna share her testimony of something amazing that is happening to her, and can't wait to share that with you. And then we'll talk a little bit about Samba Tree and some of the things that are happening, good things, and changes and stuff like that. We're going to get into all of that, okay? But I promise you, it ain't going to be no 2.5, 3 hour thing. It better not be that today. I'm sorry, it can't be. I got to keep it moving. But anyway, let me see. Where is that browser here? Hold on, let me pull this browser up here, and let me see if I can find this video. Okay, I'm going on Twitter here and see if I can find this video for y'all. Oh, just give me just a moment here. I'm scanning right now to see. Okay, I see my Chris Cuomo stuff, and let me see. If not, I'll just do a quick search on it. Sorry, y'all. Almost there. I'm just going to scroll just a little bit more. If I can't find it, then I'm going to just do a quick search, and because it was being passed around a lot. So let me just see. Okay. All right. I'll just search for it. I think his name was. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to play this clip here, and I want you to hear this. This is Larry Fink. Larry Fink is the president. He's the guy that's over BlackRock. BlackRock is this, I would say, is probably one of the largest, if not the largest, investment firms, period, that's out here. And for the research group, I posted something for them, a video, just really getting into how America is really a corporation, which many of us already know that and understand that. But I wanted to really take time to explain that there is no American culture. American culture is corporate culture. That's what it is. So this whole idea that, we got to try to recapture our culture here, it's the equivalent of you trying to build a culture in a supermarket or in a shopping mall. That's what it is. When we were brought here, I'm talking about black folks now, we were brought here to help build a corporation. And so they have no interest at all in preserving your culture. This ground that we stand on, I'm talking about us here in America, and I would say if you're in any Western system, this ground that you're sitting on or you're standing on, it is not designed to preserve you or your culture. All right. You are an investment. And what I did was I actually went through explaining that. We went through slavery, explained a lot of things on that. Then we explained some other things too. So yeah, that was for the research group. But anyway, let me pull this video up here and so you can see what I'm talking about. It's right here. All right, here we go. All right, so let me play this video here. And this is Larry Fink. And I want you to hear what he's saying. And then I'm going to get to the post there and I'm going to talk about that. Hold on, let me pull this up here. All right, here you go. And let's take a listen to what Larry Fink is saying. I want you to listen very closely.
I could argue in the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations. Okay, that's something that most people never talked about. You know, we always used to think shrinking population is a cause for negative growth. But in my conversations with the leadership of these large developed countries that have xenophobic immigration policies, they don't allow anybody to come in, shrinking unemployment, shrinking demographics, these countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries and the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations. And so the paradigm of negative population growth is going to be changing. And the social problems that one will have in substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations. And so for those countries that have rising populations, the answer will be education, and so rapidly developing. You know, for those countries that do not have a foundation of rule of law or education, they're going to be left. That's where the divide's going to get more and more extreme. And unfortunately,
Darlene, you hear this? Greg, you hear this? Yvette, you hear this? Christina, you hear this? They're telling you what the next step is. And that is, okay, we basically did this, right? I got to do the sign language here, right? We did this. We are accomplishing phase one. Phase two now is we're going to bring the robots in, AI technology. And see, you got people out here. I told y'all, I said, listen, AI technology, it's helpful. There's some exciting things about it. But I also said, you just watch it. Just watch it because, you know, you got companies, literally, you have people all over the nation right now, even all over the world right now that are saying, hey, listen, I don't even have a job right now. You got people who are in the middle of school right now have to change directions rapidly. Why? Because this AI technology is rapidly taking away jobs that humans would do. So what I'm saying is that this system that we're in right now has no interest in preserving you. It has no interest in providing you good health care. It wants you to expire as soon as possible, because once you expire, you can be replaced just like that with something else. So again, we as a people, as individuals, we have to understand where we are in this station right now. Like I said, you can either be here, maybe you're in the UK, any Western type country that you're in right now. The ultimate goal is not to preserve your culture or your history. The ultimate goal is to eliminate that. And this has been one of my struggles that I've been really, really struggling with. When I was just thinking about Black culture, for example, and I said, it just seems like it's what we knew growing up, many of us growing up as Black culture. We all have, a lot of great memories of it and all the different things that we used to do. And now, everybody's got when the street lights come on story, right? Or when Unc so-and-so, once the first thing he did when he got his retirement money, he got that big old Cadillac. Or, we all got these wonderful, funny, interesting, very helpful stories that that are interwoven in this thing called our culture. But what I am saying to you is, in about 20 to 30 years, what we know today as Black culture will not exist. It will not. I'm trying to be honest with you, and I'm trying to be straight up with you. So it's imperative and it's important for us as individuals to begin to focus on what we can control, which is internally, starting in your homes. This is why we've been saying over and over again, you want to know who you are? Start from your home. So that means everything these people gave you, everything, the scriptures, everything, the education, like he just mentioned, everything these people gave you, it's designed to phase you out. That's the design. That's the end game of everything they handed your Black hands. It was designed to phase you out. It has an expiration date. It's about as equivalent as this computer that I have in front of me. Well, Apple's been pretty good, but when I get some of these other computers, the PC-based computers, I don't even load anything on it. And it's like maybe a year and a half. Next thing you know, the thing's slowing down on me. But this is how they put expiration dates on every product. Well, you are a product and they have an expiration date planned for you. How do you think life insurance works? Life insurance, they look at you, they are placing their bets based on the information that you gave them. And they're saying, okay, we expect you to die by this amount. So we're going to invest this amount into you. You understand what I'm saying? So I spent a great deal of time talking about that, and I don't want to rehash that. So it's on the video. And like I said, again, you can just jump on our research group and you can get access to it. And we'll be talking more along that line, because once you understand that, it just opens a lot there. It opens a great deal where you can really begin to understand, get better perspective on these things, And so anyway, let me switch to this right here. And again, for those that are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate that. We are going to be going into the Samba tree, talking a little bit about it. We ain't going to be doing how we do the chef. We got all this stuff on and we cooking and all that. I've already cooked. Okay. So that's already been done. I'll show you some of the stuff I did, but let me bring up this page here. Go to this our community page here. And I just want to go through the stuff I wrote earlier today, because like I said, it just made all of that just made me so angry, and once I began to see, I was like, dang, okay, this is something else. And a lot of people are starting to come out and say either, hey, listen, I'm starting to experience these things, or I have a loved one that's passed away. I got people who are younger than me that are passing away. I heard a story where they said it was this one medical professional said that they're seeing a lot of younger people who are in their 20s who jog, who hike, who play sports and all of that. They got to get an amputation of a leg or an arm or something like that because they develop a blood clot. And they're like, I'm sitting back and they're like, how is this even happening? I don't understand. How is it happening? And I'm sitting up here, you can't put that together? But anyway, let me put this together here. Let me show you what I wrote here. And I said there were many who lost jobs, income, professional licensing, just for simply questioning during those days. As for this platform, I said videos Videos where we took a fine-tooth comb to look at all the info, had professionals in the medical industry provide us with intel, were taken down while we took on multiple strikes for, again, questioning. You never, ever, 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 ever want to find yourself in a position where if you find yourself in a position where if you dare question something, you're going to get penalized for it, or people are going to stop liking you, then that means you need to get the up out of that whole situation in the first place, because you cannot grow as an individual if you don't question. You wouldn't even be where you are right now if you weren't questioning. Babies, they do that all the time. Mommy, what's this? Daddy, what's this? Why are you doing this? Or why is this hot? Why is it so? That's what we do. Now all of a sudden you're going to put us in a situation like, okay, go stand in the corner. Don't you dare ask me any questions. Well, as a child, if I'm looking at this as a child, that sounds like a punishment to me. But anyway, let's continue. I said, I have no problem saying the following because it is absolutely true. I said, most black religious-based platforms, many of you are subscribed to, opted to speak only in very general spiritual terms about the situation. While that may have been effective in some cases, our people needed detailed info they could take to their families, their loved ones, and their employees. In other words, there were many, y'all know them. I ain't got to name these people. A lot of people that were getting on YouTube, I can't talk about it, but this thing reminds me, see, it's the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the beast. That's what it is. And see, family, you can't get the mark of the beast, whatever you do. Now that's good. You didn't get it. That's good. I'm glad. The end result was you didn't get it. Good. But honey, you go to your job and your boss is like, okay, you need to get this thing. What you gonna tell him? Well, that guy on YouTube said it was the mark of the beast and I can't get it. He gonna be like, okay, number one, you sound crazy. So not only do you need to get that, we got some other paperwork you need to sign and you need to go on that couch over there because you sounding very crazy right now. And so you had to fill out, the reality was many of our people had to fill out that religious exemption thing. And so thankfully we were able to find people who had already done it and had success with it and say, okay, let's pull from that information and let's present it to our folks here so that you can so that if you are one of those people, and there were quite a few people that was reaching out to us like, hey, listen, how do we do this? Right. We was able to push that information out to them. And thankfully, and listen, just that alone saved lives. Just that alone. See, a lot of times, I know with Nicole and I, we move. Boy, we move. And we move all the time. We don't take time to be like, okay, so look at all the great things and wonderful things we do. I don't even be thinking about that. Yeah. It has to be, only time things like this come up is when I crash somewhere, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I got to hit system reset here. Okay, what are we doing right? You know what I'm saying? But I don't wear this stuff on my chest or anything like that. It's just, you know what I mean? You keep going. And so anyway, so I'm just going to read this here. It says, most black religion. Okay, I already read that here. And I said, here are the few things that we've done on this platform. I said, mybondtube.com. And like I said, big shout out. And you guys know who you are. For those who have contributed to that platform, we really appreciate y'all, because without you, we wouldn't have it. I said, since YouTube decided to punish channels like ours for simply questioning, we decided to create our own video streaming platform where we could tell the whole truth about this topic along with many others. It has proven to be an invaluable tool that has helped many, many families get the information we all need. And I went and told you, I said, we paid $200. There's no mystery. All right, $200 a month. I ain't making no little cut over it or anything like that. Thanks to the few of you who have pulled this site along, and we really do appreciate you. I said, we would love to see this page paid out for at least 6 months out. That way we don't have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I said, having to ask every month for help for that site isn't something we prefer to do. I don't like being the guy like, okay, y'all, we tithe and offering time. You know, God loves a cheerful giver.
You're not that
I ain't that guy, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't got to pull those things, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I said another thing that we finally have pretty much maxed out is that we pretty much maxed out our drive space for the site, and we had a lot of space, and we maxed that out. So what we've had to do is basically go back to many of the videos that either have 0 or very, very low views and just delete them. So that's what's been happening lately. And, because we're just trying to manage what we have, not complaining. We just saying, all right, well, we know what we got to do. Let's keep it moving. And so, but we're at that point. I'm just letting you know. And so I said, but of course, if you increase that, that means it's going to be a bigger cost associated with that. And then I gave you the link. I said, if you'd like to contribute to that, here's the link right there. And I said, okay, so that was one thing. Another thing we did was we created, it started off as Brew Gardens. And then we changed the name to Samba Tree. And I said, as more and more people began to reach out to us for practical advice for natural solutions, we decided to create a platform where we could offer natural solutions that specifically address the solutions to keeping your body defenses up during that time. The platform also allowed us to expand basic education on diet and general natural solutions. During our broadcast today, we talked about that. All right, and then I said, for numbers of our people, we needed a way to get something into their hands that was quick, easy, and yet very powerful dealing with the thing. And so Nicole and I decided to buy up on our own as many bottles of black seed oil as we can get, just to give them away to anybody on YouTube who asked. Yeah, we did a black seed oil giveaway.
I think that was before.
It was somewhere in the middle. It was somewhere around there. We did that. And that was to anybody, friends, enemies, unsubscribers. It didn't matter. We just said at the end of the day, this thing is serious. And we want to make sure we're doing our part to, help folks out. And that's what was happening. We were so happy to do that, let's see. And I said, we raised up funds to help families who could not afford natural solutions and used it to create care kits. We did those care packages. And then, like I said here, I said, thanks to many of you who stepped up to make that possible. We were able to help out many, many families. And we were so grateful for that. And we got a lot of testimonies of people who were very much helped by that. We sponsored a class on foraging. We were able to have a licensed individual who specializes in herbs to teach us via Zoom a series of classes on how to find medicines we need right in our own backyard. Because see, the thing is, it ain't just about, okay, buy from us. You got to keep buying from us. No, we don't need to be thinking about that, because see, when you're thinking about your culture, see, your original culture, it didn't always operate like that. Your authentic, real culture, they didn't operate like that. If someone needed something, it was barter and it was trade. That's how it worked. Or you taught yourself how to get it yourself instead of always having to buy something all the time. And so what this class did was teach you.
Or the community just provided it for
you. Yeah, you can, or the community, yeah. So what this class did is it taught us to get reacclimated, because some of y'all were already ahead on this and been doing it, but there was many of us who were not doing it. You get all those dandelions in your lawn. What's the first thing a lot of people do? Kill them. But dandelions address a great many things in your health, but they teach you to kill it, because they want you to depend on them. And so we started, people started learning how to do all that. And Sister Journey, really appreciate her for what she was able to accomplish with that. Let's see what else. Sponsored class on foraging. Number 6, we said created a platform where hundreds of our families could come together to do basic strategy in things like medical emergencies, local and national disasters. And I said we established a group on the Threema platform where we put it on the people. This was so important to me, is to put it on y'all, all right, on people to come up with their own solutions when it comes to things like health and wellness, children's education, emergency prep, etc. The goal was to get people to look to themselves to create their own local solutions and not to look to a personality to lead them every step. I said the successes came with a great many challenges, as there are a great number of things our people still need to overcome. And that's just really the best way I can put that. And we're grateful for the successes, but the other things, it makes you reevaluate and realign yourself on some things. Because I'm not going anyway. And I said all of this and more was and is being done while heated arguments were taking place over feast days, 12 tribe charts, DNA, and most importantly, constant messages of people passing away. And then I went on and I talked about I just mentioned some other stuff briefly there. So yeah, there's real work.
And when you say people passing away, you're talking about people passing away out in the general, not within Threma, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. So there were real people, and within Threma, you had people who was already talking about their family members that were passing away and stuff like that. Yeah. And you had people who were like, man, how do I communicate this to them? Because I've been giving them this. Is there something I can give them? That they can, and we worked on all of those things. But this is where we are right now, is that we are in a place right now where there's no choice. You either focus or you die. I mean, that's really what it is. You either going to focus and preserve what you can or die. And there are, and we were so grateful to be two of many people that are out here that not only say, I care about you, I'm praying for you, bruh, but are actually taking steps to prove that out. And that's not us like patting us on our back and we doing that. My mom says all the time, I ain't trying to elevate any man. I ain't trying to elevate myself. And because the Bible says, no, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
You know what? That's a shame.
No, but no, I'm playing.
That's a doggone
But
shame.
yeah, no, we're not, nobody's doing that at all. But it takes a collective of people who actually, number one, loves themselves. You got to love yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And you love yourself. That's first and foremost. I'm about to say something that's going to mess many of y'all up. You got to love yourself before religion. Because many of y'all says, well, I got to love my religion. I got to love other people. And then it's last. Your religion don't care nothing about you. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't. And they proven it. You know what your religion did? They were the main ones out here on YouTube talking about, the Bible says, I'm just thinking it's something in my spirit telling me that if Jesus was here, I feel it in my spirit. If he was here, he would be getting it too. In fact, him and the 12 disciples, they would have already had it stuff. What are you waiting on? And now all these people dying. My thing, I don't be forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't forget stuff. And when I see people dropping left and right like this, and these same dusty, ashy pastors and preachers are out here that were the main ones telling people to go do it. And now all of a sudden they just switching up to something else now. See, I'm not the one. All I can say is, don't say it, Dwayne. I won't say it. Okay. I'm just saying, basically, I understand the whole vengeance is mine thing, but I ain't nothing wrong being on the back seat of that vengeance. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying some folks need to get their pay on that stuff because what you did is so evil. I can't overlook that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some people can overlook that stuff. I can't overlook that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're just so grateful to be able to, to do what we were able to do. And there's better and greater things ahead. And we're just so excited about that. And the thing about it too is that we don't like harping on all the evil. Like there's some of these people out here like, oh Lord, did you see what they're doing today? Oh Lord, did you see what they're gonna do tomorrow? Is he gonna come today? I don't know. Oh, I hear the horses coming, the 4 horsemen. Oh, they're coming. Are you ready? Are you one of the chosen?
Dwayne.
Ooh. And it's like, oh my goodness. Just take me. Just let me go. Let me go. Please. I'm serious. And some people, they just like getting beat up every day about bad news. I love Mabel King. I'm glad, she moved on. She said, don't nobody bring me what?
No bad news.
Don't bring me nothing else. Anyway, I'm done running my mouth there, so you can go ahead and say what you got for us.
What I got? Is this, you got enough core?
You good.
Hey, family. I'm pulling the cord a little bit too long. He's going to adjust it. Did it pull out?
No. You good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what he's saying is absolutely right. And you know what, Dwayne, I would have sent an e-blast inviting people to come and letting them know we were going to go live tonight. But don't you know, right as I was sending a notice to all of you all, MailChimp says, yeah, your access is denied temporarily. We don't, there's some suspicious activity. You're locked out. What? In 5 years, that's never happened. What are you talking about? I'm locked out. What are you talking about? And I don't mean locked out, your password, you tried your password too. No, not you. You're logged in 2 different locations. Just we're locking you out. What in the world? There was multiple things that happened right before we went live. Multiple things. And does this not almost always happen? Almost always happen. Multiple things. I won't even go down the list. But we're here. We are here. And what he's saying is right. Just in terms of what the fallout of what occurred in 2020, 2021. You know what I mean? And even some of 2022. The fallout is real. And when I am able to get the time, those Telegram channels that he was mentioning, I follow some of them as well. And I wanted to do a video over on BondTube showing the before and after, the before and after, the before and after, the before and after result. Because there, like he said, there are channels that are monitoring. They take people's social media, they document when they made the choice to take that serum, and then they post the aftermath. And that's the entire page, the entire social media channel, if you will, is nothing but that. Nothing but that. And even if someone said, well, I mean, some of that's just coincidence. I mean, it doesn't mean.
You're a fool at this point.
The amount of just the receipts are there. So I want to do a video and just show that to people, because I think it's important, especially if upcoming this fall, because I already saw a news story that said, oh, there's a new variant called the
I know they've been pushing that bird flu thing.
Yeah, but after I just saw something recently, they said it's called they didn't say the snake. They said the name was crazy. If we find it, maybe you can post it on the community tab. But I don't know what is ramping up for this fall, but I want to do that video so that maybe not you, but even your family members can just kind of look at this and just take a minute before they jump in and stand in line to get another dose.
And there's
know what I mean?
There's things that I'm looking at, and I purposely am not like wanting to repeat it, because some people, as soon as they hear stuff, they just go in panic mode, and I will share this. I just don't have the article in front of me right now, but what was it? Airbnb, they issued out a memo I heard about, and I saw a little bit of it. They were saying that it's like right around like June, July, there was some internal memo or something that they sent out. They said that they're making changes to, some of y'all may know, you can probably help me out on this, making changes to the policy of Airbnbs and renting them. They were saying, like, in the event of a natural disaster that takes place either before or right after whatever this date was. I mean, they were very specific. This was real.
This is recent?
Yeah, it was like about a couple of months ago it came out. And so people are like, whoa, wait a minute, what are you talking about? What you know?
Right.
You know, and but I'll look more into that to see exactly the details on that.
Please do.
But yeah, these people,
Yeah.
you know, they
The
always
script is written.
telegraph and tell you what's up. You know what I mean?
Psalm 31:24 said, "Did anyone else's video stop?" There was a notification that came up and said your streaming quality was reduced automatically because the internet signal isn't as strong and it's frozen. In this area of the house, signals is not the greatest.
All right. Well, we'll just sit here for a moment and let's
Yeah,
see.
let it catch up.
Can I see? Hold on.
Here, let me see.
Hold on. Let's see. What am I? Y'all just hang on. I'm just trying to see what's up. Is it frozen?
I'm hitting live, but it's not giving me anything farther than you talking about Airbnb.
All right. So we're still here. We're still talking. We're still recording. There's really nothing I can do at this point.
Yeah,
so
true.
What you miss, you will, it's still recording, so it will still be up, and we'll do everything we can to try to make this thing work and all of that. Okay. So, but anyway, what were you saying, or was I talking?
You were talking about Airbnb.
Oh yeah. So when I find out more about that, I'll talk about that. All right. Let's see. Then I'm done.
Okay. Before we get to our, and you guys let us know just in the chat. I'm just curious, if it's continuing to stop and start, just please put it in the chat because we just want to know. Before we have our special guest call in, I just want to say this. If you are subscribed to the Samba Tree newsletter, please check your emails. I sent out an email right as we were starting this live. And there's a short video in there, and there's also something else in there as well. All right. So be sure that you check your emails. I'll just say this real quickly before we get started. Which is thank you. It was a thank you to all of our Samba Tree customers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll just do the abridged version of the video. I wanted to thank you because over the last several months, Samba Tree has experienced incredible growth. I'm seeing names I've never seen before. We're shipping to locations we've never shipped before. Just incredible growth. And so I wanted to thank you all for your patience because some of you've had back ordered products that you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for them to come in, separate shipments and all of that. And we are now almost 100% caught up. But I wanted to say thank you so much for your patience just during that time. But how this links to what Dwayne was saying is, and he didn't know this when he was doing this post. In other words, we didn't talk, okay? But what I'm seeing in the Samba Tree email, and this is what I put in the video. There is such a violent uptick of cancers, specifically cancers. Of course, there's all types of other health conditions popping up, but cancers, and I'm seeing it in the email. And I'm like, I won't mention their names, okay, but I'll mention the situations. You know, I'm buying these colon bitters because my aunt was just diagnosed with colon cancer. I'm buying this butterfly PT because my father has prostate cancer. I'm buying, I can't remember what the product was, but breast cancer. All of these, and there's more. And there are people that are buying products because their family members are being diagnosed with these cancers. A wide array of cancers. Wide array. I could show you an article right now of a rare cancer that that's never really been classified before. And, but we won't do that. I don't even have it on hand. But you remember I sent you that article about the rare cancer? Anyway, we're seeing this not even an uptick. It's an explosion of new cancers, meaning new diagnoses, and also people whose cancer was in remission now coming back. My aunt is one of them, and her funeral was it earlier this year or end of 2023? Anyway, my aunt is passed on, dead and gone. Her cancer had been gone, and her cancer was not saying a peep for 15 years. After 2021 and all that rolled out in 2021, and she was a partaker of that, all of a sudden, the cancer that was quiet is now screaming loudly, and she is dead and gone. And so we are seeing, just even in these last couple of months, an uptick of orders and requests at Samba Tree. And so long story short, that video that I sent out to you all, I was thanking you for your patience, because some of these products just have been back ordered and you've been so patient. And so when a business grows like so fast overnight, where you're ordering from your suppliers, maybe you were ordering once a month, you know, your Moringa powder, your body care products, whatever. And like I put in that video, overnight, almost, it feels like overnight, what we were ordering that would normally hold us for a month now is only holding us for a week. And that adjustment really was just that. It was quite an adjustment, you know. So we are thankful for the growth, because what that means is that we're doing what we were commissioned to do. What we were meant to do is to provide natural products that help in the healing of our people, period. That's what we were meant to do. And so we're thankful for that. But with that, you know, has come some challenges with that really explosive growth. So anyway, you can check that video out that I sent to everyone. And then I think finally, also in that email, you'll find a coupon code because the business started in 2019 and we're in 2024, 5 years. We've been in business for 5 years, and we have kept our prices pretty steady. Like, we have not increased prices for 5 years, with the exception of one or two products where we had to bump it up $1.50 because we just had to. But other than that, we've kept the prices steady for 5 years. But if you go and you walk in any store, grocery store or otherwise, the prices that you see today are nowhere near what they were in 2019. I mean, yeah, everything has increased, but we have really, really endeavored to keep that price right where it is, because like I said in that video, our goal with starting this was never to get rich. We don't. That was never a thought. We weren't looking to get rich. We were looking to enrich, your life. You understand what I'm saying? We were looking for people to help people heal. And so soon, this is my like little blowhorn announcement. Soon, you will see a price bump on sambatree.com for probably roughly 80 to 90% of our products. A moderate price bump. In other words, it's not going to be astronomical, but a moderate price bump on 80 to 90% of our products. And that is to cover the raw material rise in price, the cost of the raw material and our supplier cost. All of that is increasing. Okay. But as a thank you to all of you and those that aren't here now and will watch the video later, we sent out a coupon code for 10% off the entire site, including new arrivals and bulk items, which are already 40 to 55% off already. Additional 10% off because we want you to be those of you that have been with us, we want you to be able to stock up, buy up, buffer yourself now before the prices increase. Okay, so this is your opportunity to buy whatever Samba Tree products that your family uses, moringa powder, bitters, black seed oil, whatever it is you use, body care. Now is your chance to purchase those items at a 10% discount before the price bump happens on the site. That coupon code, I'll put it in the chat, but it's last call. Because it really is the last call right before the prices change. No spaces, just last call. LASTCALL, no spaces. And we'll, that's what's happening at Samba Tree. So again, we're super happy to be almost 100% caught up. Thank you for buying for yourself, for your families. And we're really, even as I pack the orders, I'm speaking over those orders. Mm-hmm. I know he does it. I do it. We speak over those orders that they will bring health and healing to the receiver, whether it's you, whether it's your family members. That's what we're doing. Those natural things they already have built in it the ability and the power to nourish and heal and restore and regenerate the body. But even on top of that, we're adding our power, our faith, if you will, okay? And we're speaking our declaration over those products as they're out shipping out to you, that they'll do what they were intended to do. And anyway, so I just wanted to tell you all that's like just some announcements. And if you're not signed up for the e-blast for our emails, please do so, because you're missing critical information and coupon codes. And the very last thing, I'm sure he covered this many times, but check your emails, because your tracking number has most likely already been sent to you. When I say we're almost 100% caught up, only the orders that were placed like last Thursday and Friday don't have tracking numbers, okay? But for the most part, 99.95 of every other order has tracking numbers. Those have already been sent to you. Check your spam folder, and you'll most likely find it there. And that's it.
Right.
That's it.
Someone wanted to know, do we ship to Canada?
We do. We do. Just email us if you are in Canada, and we'll give you a shipping price quote, and then we'll invoice you for your order. And the reason why we don't have Canadian access on the website is because there's a limit to the amount of liquids that we'll ship to Canada. If somebody wants 10 bottles of bitters, we're not going to accept that order, because most likely we're going to experience breakage as it travels internationally. Yeah. And
then someone asked, what happened to bird pepper seasoning?
I know.
Sabrina.
Sabrina Cooper. Hey, sis. Okay, so the African bird pepper seasoning. So we can get it, but the supplier that we were purchasing the bird pepper seasoning from, they discontinued that brand. So we can get another brand. I just didn't know if there was much demand for it, but I have my notebook right here and I will jot it down. So yes, there is another supplier that offers pretty much the same product. The packaging's not as pretty, but yeah, I'll look into that.
And then Kristen said
Hey, Kristen.
her dad just told her yesterday he has prostate cancer. And so I told her to email us, you know, if we have anything that we can, suggestions or things like that.
Yeah. The blue butterfly PT will aid in, you know what? Yeah, you can go ahead and email us, but yeah, the butterfly PT is one of the top things that I'm gonna recommend for him. I'm so sorry to hear that. And this is what we've been hearing. This is what I mean.
And then definitely there has to be a diet change for sure. Because we want that body to be 100% focused on healing itself.
Yeah.
And not distracted by anything else.
Yeah, and
but yeah, just email us on that.
Can I say something real quickly about cancer, or do you think that would be?
You can't. Let me get this question. And someone
Go
said,
ahead.
do you ship internationally, but not Canada?
We can ship anywhere. However, what you want to purchase, because our price, it's not like our prices are, it's not like you're buying, $1,000 product. If what you want to purchase, let's say, is $50, and I'm shipping to the UK, the shipping might be $80. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we can absolutely ship anywhere, but we do have limitations on what we will ship. Okay, like we're not going to ship liquids to the UK, for example, and then the price quote for that shipment might even be more than what you're purchasing. So it just has to make sense, I guess, for you. But we can do it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Cancer. Okay, let me just say this really quickly about cancer. Hold on a second. And you said, there has to be a diet change, Dwayne. That's what you said. And that's true. But there also has to be a mindset change when you're dealing with cancer. This culture, all right, Western culture has taught us that the fight against cancer, you got to fight cancer. We're going to fight it. And we're going to win, and we're going to battle cancer, and we're going to... It's a combative mindset that you're going to go in, battle and conquer and kill cancer and all of this. That mindset is a Western mindset because, again, a lot of what you see in Western culture, European culture, is all about conquering and destruction. Okay? Who's your target audience? Why do they have to be a target? Right. Why is it a target? Why are they a target audience? Right. Why isn't an audience that I want to embrace and bring in? Why isn't it the audience that I want to entreat? That I want to embrace, that I want to bring into my community? Why do they have to be a target audience? You understand what I'm saying? Why, again, the English language is word magic, okay? So, you start a project and it's an undertaking. Why is this new project that's exciting, why is it an undertaking? Like the Undertaker that takes care of the dead? Why? Do you understand? The mindset is usually death and destruction and conquering. For example, cancer is the body's way of protecting itself. What is a tumor? A tumor is a collection of toxins, malperforming cells, cells that are dysfunctioning, cells that are basically those cells have died, but they have not been expelled from the body, or you know what I mean? They're just there. They're living longer than they should, or they're existing longer than they should, along with the toxins in your system. And what the body does is it creates like a cocoon, basically, around this dead tissue, these toxins, the stuff that your liver and your kidneys could not flush out of the body. The body says, okay, there's so much toxin, there's so many toxins in this body. If we don't put a hood on this and wrap this thing up, it's gonna kill this person. It's gonna be all in the bloodstream, and they're not gonna last. So let's wrap this thing up. We got to give the kidneys and the liver some help detoxing. Let's just wrap this thing up. Then you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, I see a lump here or there, whatever. We're going to need to do a biopsy. Okay? Now, if you've had a biopsy, and we're talking about the realm of cancer. Okay, we're not talking about, a tissue mass and you had a biopsy done. I'm talking about cancer. Okay, and they say we have to do a biopsy. What a biopsy does is it takes that protective cocoon, what your body has worked very hard to insulate and put in a little ball, which we call a tumor, that is keeping those toxins in and packaged until you can get in your right mind and go do some, change your diet and get the junk food out and get the processed oils out and stop eating all the sugar, until you can help your body to begin to detox on its own. So that tumor can begin to shrink and pass on out. The biopsy, what it does is it takes that perfectly insulated tumor and cuts it open or pokes a hole in it. And then afterwards, you find out it's metastasized. It's spread. Because your body was trying to do its best job to keep it under wraps, but then you go and you poke a hole in it or you cut an opening in it, which they call a biopsy, to determine if it's benign or if it's malignant, whatever. But what that does is it breaks that barrier that the body has created and allows those toxins now to spread throughout the body. And then sometimes you get that report that you're not stage 2, now you're stage 3, or it was central in one place, but now it's metastasized to this organ and that organ and this. Do you understand? Because the body is a magnificently, wonderfully made creation, and it is geared to restore and to heal itself if you provide it with the right materials. Do you understand? It will always try to heal itself. It will always try to restore itself. Always, 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 always. But sometimes modern medicine, many times, either suppresses that activity or cuts into that activity. And so anyway, all that being said,
what's our email again? Sorry.
The email is care@sambatree.com.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So, and can you put the coupon code is last call, no space in between the two. So lastly, what I wanted to say for any of you who received a cancer diagnosis, or you have family members that have a cancer diagnosis, one of the main things is that mindset change. You're not in a battle. You're not in a fight. What you actually are in, watch me here, a battle and a fight has to have two opposing parties. If you're in a battle and a fight, this is your body and this is you, and you are fighting against it because you have to kill the cancer, which is an opposite mindset of, I don't need to fight cancer or battle cancer or kill cancer. I need to be in a posture of teamwork with my body so that I can feed it what it needs in all areas, not just your food or what you're drinking, but also your stress level and your worry and your anxiety and your radiation and and staying inside instead of getting out in the sun. All of these other things outside of food, I need to create a synergistic type of plan so that I can cooperate with my body, not fight it, but cooperate against my body so that it can do what it was designed to do, which is heal itself. It's a totally different mindset. Totally different mindset. And the last thing I'll say is that when you approach sickness, or when you approach, in this case, cancer, with a mindset that you're going to enter a fight or a battle, what you have just done is you have introduced an avenue of fear. Why? Because you can lose a battle. You can lose a fight. Even when people pass away, well, Aunt Janie lost her battle with cancer on August 5th, 1992, right? So when you enter into addressing cancer with a fighting mindset, I'm going to fight it, I'm going to battle it, you also leave room for fear. What if I lose this battle? What if I lose this challenge? But if you enter into that with a teamwork mindset and a harmony mindset, I'm going to get into harmony with my body, the way my creator created my body to operate, and I'm going to get into alignment with that and create a harmonious, environment within my body. In your mind, only positive can come from that, right? Because what negative comes from getting into harmony with something? So there's no, I'm not saying there's no fear there, but you've lessened that fear. So mindset is huge because your body listens to your mind, not your brain, but your mind. Your body will listen to your mind. All right. So it's important to get your mind and your outlook right. So yeah, there you go. There you go.
Very good. Very good.
That's it.
Absolutely right. And that's why, we really stress this whole thing about mental health. Again, a lot of times people, when they hear mental health, they think, someone's slow, or mentally disabled, that you go to that extreme. No, mental health is having a right perspective of how you're going to feel when you get up tomorrow and got to go to work. You know what I mean? Or how do I deal with children that just are acting crazy? You know what I mean? Because how many stories can I post right this second of parents just absolutely losing it and ending the lives of their children? I'm telling you, I have piles of different stories that I just keep, and because again, it starts off with where's your mind, and there's so many things that you can do to put your mind on a winning track. That's why, I know for me and for her too, we start off all day getting out there and just drenching ourselves with that sunlight and just quiet. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody shut up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Before I do anything. And then drink my cup of water. And Nicole, she'll take her cup of water, be putting it on her feet and everything, and just, it just starting off the day, just taking it all in.
That's right.
And then I tell you, my body, I could tell my body's like getting lined up because, man, at 10:30 every night. Now, usually I'll be like, man, I'm trucking, man. Look, I could do give me 10 keyboards. I be doing all kinds of stuff. But no, not anymore. No, not anymore. Around 10:30 or so, next thing I know, let me just go sit down over here just for a second.
Yeah.
Let me check on this email. Next thing I know.
Yeah.
It'd be on snooze mode. Yeah. And it'd be 3 a.m. I'm like, whoa, why is all the lights off? Because these jokers be shutting all the lights off, and I'd be up here.
Listen, honey, when the sun is going down, the lights up in here need to be going down. Let me tell you, I have changed the environment up in here. Okay? Okay? And I'm drinking caffeine, so I'm a little wired right now. But listen, when that sun is going down outside, and if we turn the camera, you'd see the whole back of our house is all windows. When that sun is going down, you don't need to have 12 p.m. high noon, afternoon sun in your house.
Yeah.
The beautiful woman that's gonna call in.
Yeah, we getting ready to call you.
We getting ready to call you because it's getting late on the East Coast, and I don't want her getting sleepy. But while he's getting the phone together to call, this is a quick note. You know, a lot of you have heard me talk about this. Most of the time, if you operate, you know, your life as naturally as possible, you're going to be miles ahead. So I changed out all the LED lights in my house. When we moved into this house, it was the brightest blue white light in all of these.
Yo, they put street lights
honey,
up in here.
it was like street light. It was like street lights up in here. What are these can lights? Is that what they call can lights? The whitest, bluest, brightest, 12 noon, high noon light bulbs were all in the house.
Yeah,
and
it was crazy.
And LED lights, they emit frequency. And it's disturbing to your brain, your eyes, right? Incandescent light is what you need in your home. Incandescent light, which gives you more of the color spectrum of natural light, is what you need in your home. So if it's 9 o'clock at night, it's dark outside, your body, your melatonin is starting to increase. Your body's starting to get in that, oh, hey, it's time to go to sleep. And then you got to go in the kitchen to get something. You turn on the light and it's 12 noon in your kitchen because your lights are too bright, right? So we've switched out those bright lights with amber lights, lamps, and all of these things to keep a softer, more amber, orangey, fire type, light. You do fire, in the evenings and all that. It's that amber, orangey light, and it's much more soothing, and it doesn't confuse your system, your circadian rhythms, or your natural sleep cycle. You don't get confused. Okay. Okay. He's gonna give her a call now.
Hey there, can you hear me? You're not on yet. You can hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me plug this thing in and hold on.
I'm gonna turn the computer off, right? Turn it down.
You can turn the volume down. All right, hold on. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Nicole, can you hear? Or do I need to get the other headphone?
No, I can hear. I can hear.
Okay, good. All right.
Can everybody hear though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we all here. Hello.
Okay.
This is my.
You gonna tell people who's on the phone?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this is. It ain't Biden. No, I'm just playing. This is my mother. This is my mother, and we got her in the house.
In the house.
And which is she. And I wanted to have her come on because she has a very wonderful testimony. And we're so glad to be in the back seat of this testimony. Just
it's wonderful.
Watching the progress.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to turn it to Nicole and I guess we'll go from there. How you doing today, Ma?
I'm doing good. Good day. It's excellent.
You still awake?
I'm yet holding on.
She was probably like, if they don't stop talking and let me.
I'm getting ready to say that. I'm like, well, they already told my story. Come on now.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
I can hear it a little bit. No, I don't need them. I just can hear it. Maybe you leave them out and I can hear it better.
Just talk. Just y'all.
Okay. So, Ma, should we call you? What should we call you on this live?
Oh, you can call me anything. Mima, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay, this is Mima. This is Mima, y'all. We love her dearly, and she has experienced a really great transition and a really great testimony over these last few months. And I just thought it was super important to maybe have her come on and share some of that. And it's really a testimony. It's really her testimony, her transition from the conventional healthcare system over to the integrative medical care. And if you don't know what integrative medical care is, integrative medical care is basically let's say a doctor's office or a medical center that focuses on getting to the root cause of the issue, not managing the symptoms. That's really it. And they use most of the offices will use a combination of diet, natural remedies, and they do have MDs and nurse practitioners and on staff, so they're able to help you whatever your medical history or medical charts, whatever your whatever that is, you can bring that to them. They have personnel there that can analyze that, but then run their battery of tests to really get to the root, and then prescribe whatever supplements, vitamins, additional testing, that you need. So I want her to talk a little bit about what led to your decision to go the integrative medicine route, or if you want to share a little something before we jump in, feel free.
Okay, I'll share a little bit that led up to that. Can you hear me pretty good? Because I have you on speaker.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And y'all let us know in the chat if you can hear her as well.
Okay, I turned my computer off so I can't see or hear anything. I just have the phone on, okay?
Okay.
In mid-December of last year, I would just say, to sum it up and to make it quick, I would say things just caught up with me mentally and physically. And what happened was I had been feeling off, like I had intrusive thoughts. I was worrying more. I was anxious, but I was able to handle it. I'm kind of like that. And then I had found out through listening to this counselor on Instagram, of all places, I found out that my personality was an empath. So I said, oh, well, that makes sense, because I always overprocess everything. I really, really care about people, and I get stressed real easy when I hear bad news. So I said, that makes sense. But what happened, it continued to get worse. That worry, the intrusive thoughts, until mid-December, I had what I found out to be was a major panic attack. I had never had a panic attack before. But the rapid heartbeat, I couldn't catch my breath. And first thing I think, heart. And so what I did, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. I drove myself to the ER. And of course, if you've ever been to the ER, and I hope you never have to go, they treat you. The doctor told me, he said, we're here to preserve life. Anything extra than that. So they stopped, the beepers are going off and all this stuff. So instead of that calming me down, it just made it worse and worse and worse. So my heart rate was going up and everything. They hooked me up to all these too. It was a terrible experience. I still now, I have to, when I think about it, I'm like, Lord, please don't let me have to do that again. And I won't. But anyway, long story short, it got to the point where they started doing all this testing stuff on me. And it kept coming back. Well, we don't know what it is. We don't what. And I'm telling them, I'm like this because I'm feeling out of control. I'm anxious. It's anxiety. But they weren't, to me, it seemed like they weren't listening to it. It was terrible. And then the environment that I was in, where there was people, Dr. Code this and everything going on. So my blood pressure was going up, up, up and everything. So they got to the point the doctor came in after being there all day, just about. I would say from maybe 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning till that late that afternoon. Finally, the doctor came in. He said, we can't really pinpoint what it is, but what we want to do, we want to admit you. We want to admit you into the hospital. And I said, I'm telling you, I'm not always like this. He didn't want to hear it. He said, well, we can't, if you leave, you're going to have to leave on your own. We can't, and we have to sign papers saying we're not responsible. And of course, that was making me more anxious. And Dwayne, I hope you don't mind me sharing this about you all, but when I got a hold of Dwayne and was talking here, Dwayne said, Mom, you need to get out of there. He said, you need to get out of there because, as I had told him, I said, when I'm home, I'm calmer. So I had to make a decision, and I did. And I'm so thankful that I did. So that started my journey, because when I left the hospital, the doctor, he said, you're going to have to promise, the paper that I signed, they said that you will see a cardiologist within I think it was like within that week or something like that. And you have to do this and you have to have this. And I was like, okay, so I committed to that. So that began my journey in going what I call the return into the regular medical field, because I hadn't had any reason to even go into the hospital or anything like that for years and years. So that started my journey going back into the regular medical world as for years. You said, so it was very traumatic. It was very traumatic to me to see, because it was right after COVID. I'm 72 years old. Y'all know what they were doing. What they were doing to older people, it was like they were going in the hospital and someone wouldn't come out. So I was like, all that was in my mind. So to answer your question, Nicole, that is what introduced me back into the medical field. But then it put in me, okay, I would go have these tests done. And when the results would come back, they would be okay. But I knew there was something else wrong, because why? These doctors, they were trying to treat the symptoms. But I knew it was something off with my mind, with my body. So I was talking to Dwayne and Nicole about it and back and forth. So they reminded me of when they went to an integrative doctor's facility when they lived in another state. And they encouraged me, maybe you should go do that. You should do it. And I'm going to tell you the truth, with my state of mind during that time, I was so fearful. I'm going to tell you. Nicole said something earlier, and Dwayne may have mentioned it too. Your body and your mind, and the doctors that I see now at the integrated facility, they reinforce that. Your mind and your body work together. If your mind influences your body, and your body influences your mind. And I had both those things working. I'm telling you, it was just like, oh, there's something wrong. Oh, they said this, they said that, this and that. So that, long story short, that's how I made the decision. No, I got to do something. And
Ma, let me ask you this, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So do you mind sharing, because a lot of people, it's really a kind of like an unspoken epidemic of people that deal with anxiety, and they have panic attacks. And, would it be okay? Could you talk a little bit about what that feels like, or what that's like?
Yeah. Well, with me, it got to the point, and see, then I started reading up a lot about it too. And that's how I became educated on the symptoms. It just feels like you're out of control. Your body is saying it's never going to get better. Along with, usually when you have anxiety, you also have depression. Like your body and your mind are in sync. If you, in your mind, you're thinking these racing thoughts, then your body and your heart is racing too. And it's like, you can't stop it. And then I started reading up on the vagus nerve. I don't know if everybody's heard about the vagus nerve. I started learning about that, about being in long-term stress, how your vagus nerve, see, a lot of medical doctors, they don't recognize that at all. Your parasympathetic system, your vagus nerve, because I guess they can't put a finger on it or do anything with it. They just disregard it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything was out of whack. My body was, it was on alert, like an emergency, like big, something wrong. And my mind and my body were both in sync with that. When my mind would be racing, I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was on automatic the whole time. And the only thing, and I remember having a conversation with Nicole, and she sent me, and I thank the creator for having, and I say children because they're not children, they grown. But I thank him, excuse me, for having family that recognized this, that is not about the medicine. Because I know my family, a lot of them, it's like, go to the doctor. You need to go here. You need to go there. But they listened to what I was saying, and they began to give me suggestions and begin to say, you're not crazy. This happened. And they helped me read stuff and encourage me. That's why it's so important that we learn how to read for ourselves, that we're our best advocate for our conditions. And I mean, nobody can do it better than we can, but you have to educate yourself. So long story short, the way it felt, getting back to that, and what would calm me down, like during the day, my body would be on high alert. It was like, I'm ready to jump, like, something bad's going to happen. So it's like, you got to be prepared. And that's what your body is doing. It's like operating in an emergency mode all the time. Because your body is trying to hurt you. And one last thing, the only thing that would calm me down was going in cold water. Just putting cold ice water on my face. And there were a few times I would have to get in the shower and just take a cold shower. And what it would do, it would make your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic system snap back. It would reset it. Yeah. It would reset it. And you would be all right for a few hours. And then you would just have to, okay? So that's what I was going. And this was totally all foreign to me. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? So
yeah, thank you for sharing that so far. And I wanted to just take just a quick minute. You mentioned that during the day you'd be on high alert, like something bad's gonna happen, something's gonna drop, this is gonna happen, this is gonna, and I think that's important to emphasize because of course, there's a lot of bad news out there, right? But even coming out of like the Hebrew Israelite type of space,
yes,
that was pretty much, I mean, that really dominated the conversations a lot. You know what I mean? This is what's going to happen. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And I just mean like, it was such a focus on what, what might drop. Do you know what I mean? The next day. And it had a lot of people, really a lot of people operating out of fear and really staying in that fight or flight, status. And then I wanted to mention too, back something you said, I realized my personality type, I'm an empath. And I want to, can you just talk just briefly, can you explain to people that don't know really what that is? Can you explain to them?
Yeah, well, I can. I'll try.
Okay. I can help you. You let me know if you need help.
An empath is somebody who's super empathetic. That's you're super.
Yeah.
Where people can hear bad news.
Yeah.
Or someone could sit down and share with you and say, oh, I'm really, really going through this. And they just begin to tell you their problems. You enter into it. That's the only way I can describe it. You feel their pain. You feel their loneliness. And it sounds crazy, but and I was so relieved when I finally heard somebody describe that. I was like, because I'm gonna be very transparent with you, okay? I used to pray, Lord, why am I feeling this way? Why am I so burdened? When I would talk to people and they would share what they're going through, whether it was sickness or whatever, it would just stay on me for so long. And in my body, I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole, you know the conversations we had when we would
Mm-hmm.
talk, and you would share with me. My husband was sick for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was sick for a long time. He never got to the point where he was an invalid, but it was years. The condition he had sarcoidosis, which is autoimmune disease. And so it would go in remission and then it would go. And then the times when it wasn't, and then it would pick up again. So there were years. He was diagnosed in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure he passed in 2002. So that's 40 years. So there were times he had up times, and it was time that it was bad until the end. So for like 2 or 3 years, well, actually longer than that, I was on alert
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
When we went to the doctor, what were they going to say?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say this is this and that. And you had to sit there and try to be faith-filled
Yeah.
and saying positive stuff to encourage the person.
Yeah.
I was on high alert for many
For
many years.
many years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm gonna ask her a few more questions about her experience at this integrative,
Yes.
medical center, and what other thing. There's some additional things that she also did to kind of come out of this place, and so she's gonna share that next. But I think it's important what she just said. She was a caregiver for years, okay? And she was a caregiver to her husband for years. And, as a caregiver, whether you're caring for a spouse, whether you're caring for a child, whether you're caring for a parent, right? As a caregiver, you most of the time don't care for yourself, okay? All that care gets showered on the person you're caring for. And and like she said, because of what my father-in-law dealt with, the sarcoidosis, for so many years, she really had to be on high alert. And so it's really a routine of a negative expectation, like what's going to happen next, this, or maybe not negative expectation, but just the dread of what might happen, what might happen, what might happen. That's better. The dread of in your imagination of what might happen. And so operating like that for so many years really kind of becomes a routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And long after that problem or that situation has passed on, the behavior and the routine still continues, even though that original problem or issue is no more, is non-existent. But we've kind of become conditioned to operate in that manner. So, Ma, tell me, when you talked about, when you had to go to the emergency room, and that experience, how it was really, really just awful for you and really heightened your anxiety.
Yes.
When your first appointment, after you made the appointment to go to the integrative medical center, what was that first appointment like? What was the difference between that and going to a regular doctor's office?
It was totally different. Okay. She brought me in, and he's very good, this lady. I didn't see the main person, but this is someone who works alongside him. And they ask you a lot of questions about yourself. And what was different, she let me talk. And that moved me. That in itself moved me because she heard me. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm very easy to cry. So just
don't be sorry. Be you, Mama. Be you.
Just bear with me, because for so long, these doctors that I went to, I had a doctor tell me one medication that I was on. He said, and I asked him, I said, well, how much longer will I be? He said, oh, you'll be on this the rest of your life. You could not ask them any questions, or they would treat you like you were ignorant or you didn't know anything. it was no fear. And by me being sensitive like I am, I picked that up and I took it harder than maybe the average person would take it. So when I went, going back to your question, when I went there, she just sat there and let me talk. And now what's this and what that? And then she told me when I was finished, she said, well, let me tell you this. She said, she had most of the doctors and practitioners there have all been in the regular medical field at one time or the other. They have chosen to come out and to do this because of what they experienced themselves in these facilities. So she told me about that. And she said, this will change. In other words, she was telling me ahead of time, it will not remain the same. And she said, what we're going to do, we're not going to treat your symptoms. We're going to find out why you're feeling this way. Why you have anxiety? Why is your body doing it? Why are you having heart palpitations? Why are you experiencing this thing? And that was the thing that impressed me, that they heard me. That was the thing that impressed me, you know? And so just to, speed things up, I don't want to take a lot of time.
No, this is good.
But yeah, that first visit was she getting to know me, to hear me, how I feel, or what have you been experiencing lately? How do you feel about this? Or what's all these different things she would ask me. And I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
So I remember when she was telling me that, I would tear it up. She said, well, what's wrong? You're going to make me cry too.
Right.
I said, I'm just so moved that you're interested in me.
Yeah.
And what I have to say, and that I'm not crazy. She said, no, you're not.
That's awesome.
You are crazy. So that was what impressed me. Yeah.
And that's awesome because at the end of the day, she's treating the whole person.
Yes.
And you can't treat the whole person unless you get to know the person. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to know what, what somebody's fears are, or what they're uncomfortable with, or you understand? You've got to do some discovery in order to really treat the whole person. And whereas in, when you go to a hospital or, a regular healthcare system, they're treating what they consider a disease and the associated symptoms. You know? But the person doesn't. The person is a patient ID. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But they're treating whatever they are considering the condition, and so I think that's huge. Can you talk about? I want you to talk about how your diet changed.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask you what changes and improvements have you seen in your life. So go ahead and tell us, how your diet changed.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. So I have to be honest with you. In the beginning, I went through the ER experience, and actually before, because that happened in mid-December, I wasn't able to get an appointment at the integrative doctor until January. I'm telling you, because they are so popular, it's hard to get an appointment, but I was able to get one in January. So in the beginning, I couldn't eat. I was just because I was worried about what was wrong, what's going on with my body. So I just wasn't eating. But then I just say, you know what? I'm just going to eat chicken and vegetables. Because I had to eat. So I was doing that for 2 weeks. And then when I did get the appointment and talk to her, she was giving me some suggestions, well, she said, what you do? Because by then I had probably dropped a few pounds. And so she said, well, whatever you're doing, what do you eat? She asked me, what's on your menu? And I told her, she said, but she gave me some suggestions. You can have this, have that, nothing written down, but she said, this is what you need to do, cut back on this, cut back on that. And just that. There was no pressure, but she just laid it out to me. Look, these are the things that I think would make you feel better. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
So as far as carbs,
sugars.
So when I was going through all that fear thing, I myself just said, okay, no more sugar.
Yeah.
When I've ever tried to diet before, you'd be like, oh my God, no sugar, what am I going to do? But out of fear, I was like, I want to drop anything that making me feel this way.
Right.
And so I've just continued on that. And I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, I don't miss the sugar.
Good.
I don't miss the carbs.
Good.
And what has happened through educating myself and reading,
Yeah.
I found out, you got good carbs and you got bad. So I've learned over the few weeks,
Yeah.
that what is good for me and what's not. In other words, you know what I'm saying? I've built on chicken and vegetables now, but I do know what's good for me and what's not.
And what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom, if you don't mind me sharing, when we were on the phone, she mentioned to me, and when we were living in New Jersey, Mima was 15 minutes, 10 minutes, cross town. And so Mima would have these little snack baskets on top of her refrigerator.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Mima's little snack baskets, you always gonna have some potato chips, and you're gonna have some little cookies and some, and but you mentioned to me that those aren't the snacks that you snack on anymore. You know what I mean?
So
and a lot. Go ahead, Ma.
When I found out about the oils,
come on, baby, come through now. Go ahead.
When she told me, and this is in our regular conversation.
Yeah.
And she was saying, sunflower oil, you got canola oil, she named all the oil. She said, this is what causes, especially as you get older. I'm 72.
Yeah.
I'll be 73 in July.
And look good, okay? And you look good, baby. You look good.
And she said, those oils are not good for you. She said, whatever. She said, now, then you have avocado oil, you have extra virgin oil, those things, in moderation. I didn't know that. So yes, then I said, potato chips. That was my weakness. I was a connoisseur on potato chips. I'm gonna tell you, I can tell you the good ones.
Right.
There was the good ones and any other kind. And that's the 2 baskets I had on the top. I still have them on top of my refrigerator with snacks, but it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
So potato chips really was my thing. And see, all those had those different oils in it.
Yes.
And that wasn't good for me at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So. And a quick note on that, she's absolutely right. So if you watch and you go into your pantry and you pull out whatever chips or whatever's in there, snacks wise, you're most likely going to see in the ingredients canola oil or sunflower oil or safflower oil or grapeseed oil or rice bran oil or not grape, but rapeseed oil. Okay, these oils are highly processed, whether they're seed oils or these other oils. They're highly processed, they're highly inflammatory. Many of them disrupt your endocrine system, and they are putting on weight and causing your body to age faster, and really decline your health, over a health decline steadily. And so coming up off of those oils was huge. And also with the sugar and the gluten and all that kind of stuff. But that's huge, Mom. That's huge. And
okay. Wow.
And a quick note, when our family went to the Integrative Medical Center in Atlanta called Progressive Medical Center. And this was years ago. All right. Whereas Mom said the woman, the practitioner she was working with, talked her through and gave her some guidelines for her diet. When we went to the Integrative Medical Center, they actually, for all their patients, they start them on a 30-day elimination diet where they're eliminating processed foods, wheat, gluten, dairy, and processed sugars. And because why? When you eliminate those things, even for 30 days, many of some of the conditions that you have in your body, if not being eliminated, they will definitely lessen, because now those things that are assaulting the system have been taken out of the way, and you're eating whole foods that are nourishing to the body and helping it correct itself. So that some of the places that you go to will start you on a 30-day kind of elimination diet. Let's get this crap out of your body. Give the body time to correct some of these things, and then let's come back and let's take some benchmarks and see how you're doing, and we'll go from there, right?
Yeah.
But in I keep saying traditional, that's not traditional. Conventional medicine, if you're just addressing the symptoms and you're just addressing, what you consider the disease and the symptoms, but there's nothing being done on the backside to help the body heal, you're just, it's like being punched in the face and just putting some makeup on. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're still being put, the bruise is still there, right? Okay. All right. So I don't want to hold you too long. Can you, what changes or improvements can you see in your life from that? Again, what you told us was that you were in a high alert state all the time. You were in, you had the anxiety and the panic attacks. You, it was hard to eat, and just in that state. Where are you now?
Well, honey, right now, I am feeling I lost some weight, but on top of that, I feel mind, body, and spirit. I feel so different. I thought at the time I was going through all that fear and dread and what you call it, flight or fight mode.
Fight or flight.
Like, something's gonna. And I remember it was so bad. It was so bad that I couldn't sleep. And
Dwayne, that's loud.
Can you?
That's loud. Yeah, Dwayne's in there making noise. Go ahead, Ma.
Okay, but it was so bad until all I could do was just pray and just say, help me to sleep, help me to quiet down. I just need 1 hour of sleep, because my body was in that mode. And I thought feel that way all the time. But when I went to how did I get to that point? They did a whole bunch of blood work on me. I had a stool test.
Yeah, where they examine the stool.
Right. They did a saliva test. They did of course, a urine test. With saliva, stool, anything you could be tested on, they did. It seemed like
thyroid. They tested your thyroid.
All of that.
Yeah.
Everything. And when it came back, it showed everything. And she said, basically, you so inflamed in your gut and in your body too. It's almost like an autoimmune thing. Your body is trying to fight for you. It's doing its best to do. And what you're getting, because then I was saying, they thought, was it your thyroid? Is it that? Or, that I had tests done on that. It ended up not necessarily being that. But she said, I had nodes in my thyroid, and when they tested, they were benign. They were good, not good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He said, because your body, it has to react some kind of way.
Come on,
to try to protect itself.
That's it.
And I did go to an endocrinologist, and she was like, "Well, your levels are okay." She said, "So I don't know what She had no idea.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to treat it.
Yeah.
But when the blood work came back to the endocrine doctors. They were able to see where your thyroid is reacting to what's going on in your gut.
Come on. Yeah.
Your body is inflamed and it's trying to do its job. And that's what you get. You're getting a kickback. That's where you're getting
a kickback. Yeah.
Getting a heart. So all those symptoms, see, if I had stayed with the cardiologist, the endocrinologist, I went to all of them, they would have been treating the symptoms.
That's it. Right.
But when I went to this, they broke it down, and she said, when I left that office that day, and I remember calling Dwayne and Nicole, I said, when I told them how many vitamins, I walked out of there with at least 10 or 11 supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, for me at the time, I was like, well, how is this going to help me? I was so used to being in the regular medical system where they give you 1 or 2 pills, or they do this, and then overnight you feel some relief.
Right.
But what they work with, and you mentioned this earlier, Nicole, you said this make me want to shout, y'all. They work with you as a team.
Come on. Yeah.
They work with me. She told me, she said, Veronica, those levels that we saw, she shouted down the hallway. I was leaving.
Yeah.
And she turned, she said, oh, by the way, Veronica, those numbers will change.
Come on now. Okay.
They will change.
Okay.
Those levels will change.
That's it. Look, not you're going to be on this pill for the rest of your life. No, these levels will change.
These levels
it's a
will
difference.
change.
It's a difference.
That's it. And so it took a couple of months. No, not a couple of months. That first month, one of the medication I know she gave me, I could feel some difference.
Yeah.
But I remember y'all telling me, baby steps, Ma. Just
right.
Take,
right.
just
Right.
take
Walk it out.
Yeah, they kept encouraging me, both of them, just encouraging me. And I'm going to tell you, within, I would say maybe 6 weeks, I began to feel, and with my diet staying the way it was, I was watching what I ate. I wasn't starving myself, but I was eating what was proper. I got off the oils and all like that. And I'm going to tell you, to this day, I feel like
my.
Like it never happened. It feel like that part never happened.
Isn't that something? Y'all, when I tell you it's night and day. It's night and day. But when she went to get tested in the hospital and the doctor's offices, let me just say this one of the doctors, and again, we're not bashing all doctors. Are there some doctors out there that do care about their patients, that do want to help within the scope of their knowledge base, doing the best they can? Of course, you're always going to have good ones, yes. But the system itself was not designed to heal. It was designed to treat, okay? And so really treat and capitalize. It's a system for a reason. But anyway, because you don't have a system if everybody's healed, right? Okay, if everybody's healed, it's over, it's done. It doesn't continue on. But let me just say this thing real quick. Mima, you went to a doctor to get a test done, right? Because even though she was going to the integrative medicine center, some of they don't do all the tests there. Some tests she had to go to a hospital and get a test and done, whatever, or go to a doctor's office, get a test done. One of these doctors, when she walked in and she's, getting her, getting ready for the test or whatever. I think this was the first appointment. And the doctor says, well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure you get off the fried foods. Yeah. Mom did not tell her that she eats fried food.
Let's be clear, that was an Indian doctor. I'll say
Dwayne.
I'll say it. It was an Indian doctor. And I have to say that because again, it does play a role. Factor. They see what they go by what they seen on TV or whatever. Right. I mean, how dare you gonna tell somebody get off? She might as well say stop eating chicken.
She might as well say stop eating chicken.
Now you know what my response would be, but I'm not gonna say it on here. But anyway,
what? Stop eating curry?
I'm gonna stop right now. Shut up, boy.
She sure did.
I got a whole list.
A whole lot.
Anyway.
A whole lot. But what's the point? The point is that doctor saw a black woman with some weight on her and said, first thing you want to do is you're going to have to get off the fried food. Who told you? And me, mom was like, I don't even eat fried foods. What are you talking about? You don't know me.
She said, your cholesterol is going to be high, so I'll probably have to add that, give you medicine for that. She told me, she said, your cholesterol is going to be high.
It's going to be high.
Yeah.
Before she even tested it.
Yes. And because my blood pressure was up, when I went to see that cardiologist, I had just lost my dog. I was a wreck. Yeah. I was stuck between anxiety, the panic, and then he dies. I was in a mess. I didn't want to go, but I went anyway. So she was like, wait away. And usually they'll tell you, well, we'll take it a second time. She didn't do it. She never looked at me. She was typing on the computer. Until I told her, I said, well, right now I'm really grieving. I said, because I explained to her, I've been, stressed and this and that. And she said, well, I'm not the doctor that does that. You have, and I would not lie. She said, you have to go to somebody, and you know how you take your hand
and wave it
crazy up against your temple, your head.
Oh, yeah,
she said, one of these kind of doctors.
Oh, she said you have to go to one of these kind of doctors and did that?
While she's gesturing with her hand, you have to go to one of those because I don't do that. That's something to do with your, your mind, your whatever. I'm not lying.
No, that's again. See, and okay. All right, I need to curtail. I need to rein it in because, but this is how can someone treat? No. How can somebody help you and work
Yeah.
with you when they believe that the mind and the body are disconnected
Not
and don't
it.
speak to each other and aren't one system?
Yes.
The mind, the
Yeah.
body, and the spirit.
Mhm.
How can they help you when they don't believe that you're one system? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is, I really wanted to bring that out because
Yeah.
we were taught and trained that the people in the white coats, they
Yeah.
have the answers and they are the ones to help and they are the ones. Some answers doesn't mean they have the truth.
Right.
They may have some facts, but that doesn't mean they have the truth. You have to treat the whole person. Do you understand? The whole person. As we kind of close this up a little bit, let me ask you, can you touch on the mindset, kind of how your mindset had to change in terms of like investing in your healthcare? Like,
Yeah.
when you go to a regular doctor, the insurance covers everything. You just pay your copay and you're done. Can you talk about that?
Sure. You said about the money part.
Like your mindset about the money part. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And also the money part. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm from the generation where you get your insurance and you pay for it because you're going to be prepared and ready if anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
You covered. You're good. So
Yeah.
you don't mind. Well, one thing about this system, the integrative system is you have to pay out of pocket. So as far as my mindset, at first I was like, I ain't giving them people all my money to do that when I have insurance.
Right.
So I had to make a shift, like Dwayne say, a shift. I had to start thinking, and I think one of you said it to me. You said, think of it as an investment in yourself.
That's it.
Think of it, you have your savings. Like I said, my generation is like you have your savings.
Right.
So if you need it, your emergency money, this,
Right.
that, and other. And that's good, and you should have that. But if something happen and you don't get better, you won't be able to use it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to make a shift in my mind that it's time for me, because as an empath personality, I'm always looking out for everybody else. I want to make sure everybody else is taken care of. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, y'all good? You good? My friend, y'all good?
Yeah.
And then I say all the time, well, if everybody else is happy, I'm happy.
Then I'm fine. Yeah. That's the caregiver. That's the caregiver too. Yeah.
And another thing during that time, I'm gonna slip in here real quick.
Yeah.
I decided counseling.
That's it. I want you to talk about that too. Yeah. You went and got counseling too.
Should have gone years ago, but I didn't.
Good.
Because all the things. First of all, I went through the church thing where they thought it was a betrayal. The church system I was in, it was betrayal. You had a weak faith. You didn't have faith if you went to counseling.
Yeah.
Let the Holy Spirit teach you. He's the lead and guide you in all truth. In the meantime, you have tons of people out there right now.
Yeah.
That go to counseling.
Yeah.
So that I really processed it, and I had to get to the point where it's about self-care. It's about me taking care of me, mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to be embarrassed. It's nothing to be embarrassed about it. This is what I need. And that's the point that I had to get, that I need this help. And I'm gonna tell you, that has helped me, because I was able to find somebody that is really good. And in talking things out, that helped me. And I'm gonna tell you, it affects me physically as well.
Absolutely, it does. Yes, it does.
It affects me physically. When I walk out of there, I'm like, yeah, I can do this.
That's it. You're a little lighter. Yep. That's it. And go ahead.
And so she's very good on self-care. You got to take care of yourself, whatever it takes. It's time. And that combined with the supplements and what my body needed, because once they did that blood work, they did the stool and the saliva, they were able to see what was going on.
Yeah.
and what I was deficient in.
Yeah.
What I was okay. Because she told me, she said, because of the long-term stress that you've been under
Yes.
all years, your adrenal glands are just overworked. She said,
Yes.
and even your, I thought I never had problems with hormonal stuff. She said, everybody needs a certain amount of hormones. She said, honey, yours is depleted. She said, so all that, and you know what made me think about, Nicole, how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And everything has a purpose in your body. When our in its perfect condition, has everything it needs to heal itself, like you were saying. But when those things get out of whack, trying as hard as it can to fix it.
It's trying. That's it.
But if
it needs
it's
a little
not,
help.
It needs a little supplements. It needs that. And that is what she explained to me. She said, you need to get your body back up to where it's, not deficient in all these things. And she said, then we're going to see, if it's healing you, or you're going to feel better, or you're going to do. And I'm going to tell you, if it goes by feelings, I feel it already. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I do.
And I can tell. Because remember our conversations when all that was going on? It's totally different. She's totally different. Okay, let me just say that. And real quick before we finish up, you mentioned that, like, coming from the church, where you were going, and really church environment at large, really black community at large. Counseling is really seen as a weakness in many spaces. Okay, it's like I don't need counseling. I'm not crazy. It's like nobody said you were crazy. What are you talking about? It's like taboo, whatever that word means. And so, I want to mention this. Or you don't have enough faith,
or they'll refer you to a pastor who probably needs counseling himself.
Come on. Do you hear what she said?
Don't start.
Come on now. She said, or they'll refer you to a pastor who probably needs counseling himself. My. Well,
okay.
If it's a lie, she said it. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's so good what you just said. And just because maybe you have a spiritual position doesn't qualify you.
That's right.
Automatically to actually counsel someone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And here's the thing. Kristen said this in the chat. Love you, Kristen. She said, and that makes me think sometimes, or in religious circles where they tell you, or in the scripture, where you have to bear, she said, bearing someone else's burden may not all the time be a good thing.
That's right.
When she said a thing right there. Why? Listen, here's the thing.
Yes.
Mom, as you were talking about being an empath and basically taking on, what someone is experiencing. And I watch this, you all. My mom is very loving. She's my mother-in-law, but I call her my mom because my mom has passed away and she's like a mom to me. So she is very loving and caring and giving. And she's a beautiful woman. And I'm not saying that to get daughter-in-law points. That's just period what it is. Okay? Period. She knows it. I tell her that all the time. Here's the thing. I watched her. People would come, talk to her. They would dump on her. She had friends from, let's say the old church she used to go to. Maybe they were, they were white women, and she was like the magic Negro. She was like the mammy that's gonna solve my problems, and I can just rest my head on her bosom, and all will be well. Okay, and they would come to her, and they would just dump for hours and talk to her about all their problems. Not just white people, even whoever. And then she would walk away so heavy and just oh my gosh, and she would carry all of that was just given to her and dumped on her, and she would just carry it, right? And that's not how it's supposed to be, right? Because we weren't built to be someone else's all-in-one solution where we take all of their, their spiritual burden, emotional burden, and we take it on ourselves. I'm talking about the mammy anointing. Anyway, yes, there's no mammy anointing up in here, okay? No
way. No more
mammy, and say goodbye to the mammy anointing. Okay. but real quick, as we're about to show you her before and after weight loss pictures, and then we're gonna close up in a second. But when she mentioned counseling, and she said, when I finish counseling, I feel better. I feel like, I feel lighter. Why is that? Someone used this illustration. I don't even remember. I think it was my best friend actually mentioned this to me years ago. When someone talks to someone else, right, in a counseling setting, or you talk to a friend or a spouse, the problems that you've been carrying, think about it. Think of yourself walking through the woods carrying a tree log. You know how they cut down trees and you're left with just the trunk, like the long log? So just think of it as you pulling a log, walking through the forest, right? And you're pulling this log, this heavy log, and that's the burden, the problem, the thing you're trying to figure out, the difficulty. And then you go and you talk to a counselor, a friend, okay? You're not expecting them to be your God, your source, no, you're sharing with a friend or a counselor. What happens is that counselor picks up the other end of that log. And it automatically becomes lighter.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Now, what Mima experienced before is the people, I was saying, the Mammy anointing, the people would come talk to her. They're carrying the log. Mima would come pick it up, and they drop their end, and they gonna go on and move on. And they left her carrying the log. That's
an excellent analogy.
Okay,
yes,
and she's left carrying all of these burdens. That's not how true friendships are supposed to work. That's not how true marriages are supposed to work. That's not how counseling works either. Any real relationship that's worth its salt, when you share with someone, okay? Like I said, you're carrying this log, your counselor, your friend, your spouse, when you share, they come and they pick up the other end of that log. And all of a sudden, it's so much lighter. And you're talking about, okay, how do we solve this? Okay, what do we need to do? What do we do? And hopefully, if that person you shared it with has wisdom, experience, and love for you and wants the best for you, you will be walking towards a solution, let's call it a lake, where eventually you both will say bye-bye to this log and it'll be tossed into the lake. Wow. And you both can do like this, high five and be like, boom, done. And that problem, that situation, that whatever you needed assistance with, the harmony of that relationship, that counseling relationship, that marriage relationship, that friendship, has improved your life. Both parties benefit until that solution has been solved and you now are a better person.
Yes.
That's how it's supposed to work. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we always encourage counseling. You know what I mean? Because it's a good thing. Can we show your before and after pictures? Mima.
Oh, yeah.
Can we show?
Yeah. Oh, me. I'm like, oh,
she's
God.
like,
I'm look. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Let's check her before and after pictures. So now this is the before. She had to give us a back shot.
That's right.
She was being shy. Okay, so that's the before picture, and then he's gonna put up the after. This is the after pictures. I think you just took this this week?
Yeah, so it's only been like 3 months. This is a difference in like 3 months. 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, you gonna make it.
So I'm a work in progress for sure.
You see that? Look at that.
3 months.
Honey, the fluff is gone. Look at that. I told her, I said, now that you cute, they'll be putting your profile up on
Only Grands.
Why you say only Grands? or where black people meet. Okay, Ma, don't be putting your profile. Talk about an elder mother looking for an elder deacon who no don't do that. We joking with her.
It's a liar.
I know that's right. Go ahead, Ma. You see that? Look at her. Look at that. Look, I mean, that's amazing. And yes,
Work in
progress. Work in progress.
Yeah.
Yes, her diet. Yes, those supplements so that
the
the thyroid that needs help, the adrenal glands that help you process and deal with stress, okay? The gut, okay, where your serotonin is made, which controls your mood. All of these different parts of the body that need assistance, they're helping her supplement those parts of the body, right? So that we can get those in line. And talking and to the counselor, okay? Taking that magnesium to help the brain and the stress and the anxiety. It's bringing down those cortisol spikes, that cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps the weight on you. All of these things are helping to get to that after picture.
Yes.
And Mom, you also went to the chiropractor, right? Last point.
Oh, yes, that too.
Because
once again, reading, research, and what it did, it just ignited something in me where I'm like, you know what? I have to advocate for myself, because these doctors are not going to direct me to anything. They were just like, and I just started reading a lot, talking to Nicole, Dwayne, and reading a lot on my own. I found out about the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic system, and how, that's where it's located, down your spine and all this. And then I was thinking on YouTube, a video popped up and said, chiropractic can help with your vagus nerve to help teach you how to reset it and how to get. And I was like, chiropractor? I never thought that would have. So I researched and I found a good one. When I it's a him and a her there, but I have the guy. He is just as much into health and your well-being, because he said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the medical field doesn't look at us as real doctors anyway. He said, so I'm just going to tell you the truth. And I said, have you ever heard of the vagus nerve? And I was thinking, yeah. He said, oh, yeah. Yeah. I said, do you ever can chiropractor and realigning your spine and getting your body? He said, all of that is a part of it. We have the best conversations about the mind and how it works with your body and your bones. You know what I mean? With your bones. And how, how people talk about a slip disc or something like that. If one thing is out of place, it can cause your whole body to be out of whack.
That's it.
Yeah. So I go to go to him regularly. I'm working on the bones and the body. I'm working on the mind. I'm working on, going to this integrative medical people. And so it seems to be working out for me, So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful for that.
Well, I'm definitely thankful for you, that you took the time to come and share, your experience over these last couple months. And, this thing goes deep. It goes deep. People talk about, emotional trauma being held in the fascia underneath the skin. Like, there's so much that we just, takes time to explore, but I'm thankful that you had the courage, because many people, they're in their 70s. They're not doing anything different. The same doctor that they've had all these years is the same doctor they're going to have till they pass up out of here, But taking having the courage to try something different, I mean, you really have completely revamped how you view your healthcare and how you address it, and you're the better for it. And I'm just so thankful. And I hope that this testimony encourages people to, encourages people to know that there are other options out there, be it counseling, integrative medicine, chiropractic, other things to get our bodies and our minds healed and aligned, properly. So this has been awesome. This has been awesome. Thank you for letting us keep you awake all late.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. I'm
your favorite chair.
No, she gets in the bed now.
Oh, okay. All right.
What you say, Dwayne?
I say you can get in your favorite chair now.
Oh no, I go upstairs and go to bed
All
now.
right. All right.
That's awesome.
But thank y'all for having me. I appreciate
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mima. We love you
Okay.
so
Take
much.
care.
Love you so
Okay.
much.
All right, bye.
it. Love you. Hey,
Ain't that something?
Isn't that something? That's awesome. That's really, really great. That's really great.
Well, we don't want to keep the people here too much.
Yeah,
longer.
yeah. We don't want to keep you.
But we wanted to really appreciate you guys joining us today for that. And I just really felt very strongly that, you know, to have her share a testimony because, you know, walking through that process. I mean, of course, she was the one, the main person walking through it, but, you know, to have to walk through it with them, it's, you know, it's something to see. And, but it's also good to be this. The other thing we say is the importance of surrounding yourself with people that really have proven that they have or demonstrated that they really do care about you and they love you. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they just be you tying so much to people out here that don't even know you. They may not even seen your face or anything, you know, and you know, and you're giving some of these people way too much access to your mind, right? And inside and here. And so every time you listen, they just speaking stuff to you that's just weighing you down. You got to unplug that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go through your timeline on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. If you're subscribed to people that are just, they're not adding anything, they're not adding life, you better unsubscribe. I'm trying to tell you, because in this time right now, as we started at the beginning of this broadcast, you see what's happening right now. We need joy wherever we can get it. Joy that's the new, I ain't gonna say crack, but that's,
Oh my gosh,
I would say crack. But that's the goal. That's the new goal.
Joy and peace.
You know what I mean? Joy and peace.
Yeah.
And you want to hold on to that. It goes up in value every day.
Come on now,
And you want to make sure you do everything you can to preserve
That's
that.
it.
Okay. And that's what we try to do here, to show people how you can preserve your peace of mind and at the same time walking in truth and not being settling for lies.
Yeah.
We've been swimming in lies for way too long. It's time for us to get off of this stuff, get off this plantation, and let's start living life the way our Creator designed it to be.
Yeah.
All
Right.
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 All right. I think that's it. That's all we have. I want to make sure we're not missing. I saw someone. Someone said, is integrative medicine the same as holistic approach?
They're used interchangeably. You have, holistic medicine, naturopathic medicine, which is a little different, and then integrative medicine. A lot of people use them interchangeably, but if you're talking about holistic medicine, it's looking at the whole body, mind, body, and and trying to get to the root of the issue. So,
All right, and then there was one other one here. I'm trying to get to it. Someone was saying that what do you do about thyroid nodules?
oh yeah, we could have had Mom talk about that. So, thyroid nodules, 95% of thyroid nodules are there's nothing to worry about. They're just, it's a collection of tissue that could be collecting for a number of reasons, because maybe your stress is out of control. Maybe, you've been taking in a lot of toxins, and the thyroid, it's manifesting in those nodules, but 95% of them people have them and they're never affected at all. They're not cancerous, and they're if they're bothersome, there are different cleanses and detoxes that you can do to cleanse your body, and then after the cleanse, begin to nourish your body and see if they will go away. But just because that you have nodules, don't automatically think that maybe they're malignant or that there's an issue. What she did, what Mima did, is she went to her. She had to go and have her thyroid tested. She had a battery of tests on her thyroid. And I honestly, I don't remember what she had to, like, in other words, after the tests were done, I don't think they did. I think they said, hey, you're fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was. They were like, they're fine. They're benign. There's really nothing for you to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think they gave her anything. Again, there was nothing for her to do. But, you know, you can always, you know, go to, you know, a medical center and have them tested if you want. You know, I just am not a fan of biopsies, you know, but yeah.
I don't do that. So
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm tired too. So,
yeah, I'm real tired, y'all. If I look out of it, I'm tired today.
That's it. Let me see what I got.
But yeah, this was good. It was so great to hear her.
All right, that's it, y'all.
Enjoy your evening.
Listen, you guys take care, and I'm just playing some clips of my new album I'm working on now.
And check your emails from Samba Tree. Check your spam folders for your tracking numbers. All right?
All right, take care, you guys. Love you very much, and talk to you again soon. Take care.
Love y'all.